There's been this lie that we have always been told that the main reason why people from the Mount Kenya region always easily win presidential election is because they have numbers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a total lie that 2029 Kenyan census will prove us wrong. Why is this one a big lie? This is what we're going to measure on our today's political analysis, considering the fact that millions of Luos from western part of Kenya right now wamejitokeza, wanasema aje, lazima tupige kura. 1.5 million people according to this standard article. And politically speaking, this is not something that we should just look down upon as people who love politics and have political interest at hand. But before I deep dive into this video, kindly just take a second or two to like this video, comment, and most importantly, just subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if by any chance you're watching us from a different platform, kindly just head over to YouTube, search for Creative Sellers TV. If politics, war, and documentaries, not forgetting sport, is what we are passionate about. Ladies and gentlemen,
barely a month after President William Ruto abolished mandatory payment to obtain or replace IDs, Nyanza is leading other regions in an ongoing campaign to register in Kondele in Kisumu, where they've recorded as high as 1,500 applications daily. Crispin Otieno has those details.
For the past 2 weeks, this has been the true picture at Kisumu's Kondele roundabout. The long queues are of the youth in Kisumu racing against time to formally register for their national identification cards. A month after President Ruto announced abolished mandatory payment for those seeking to obtain valid identification card or a replacement.
Nashukuru Mr. President kwa hii kazi ambayo amefanya. Mimi nilikuwa wa kwanza hapa asubuhi, nimeshashika ID, nimepewa waiting card. Nashukuru.
Nilikuja hapa saa 12 asubuhi kwa sababu ya ID zenye tulitangaziwa tunapata. Tunapiga shukrani kabisa kwa rais wetu kuleta hii kazi ya leo hapa.
For the last 2 weeks in Kisumu, Homa Bay and Migori counties, more than 35,000 residents in the 3 counties have turned up for the exercise, including areas along the Kenya-Tanzania border. At Kadika Primary School in Suna East, the congestion was palpable. Youth, women, as well as the elderly, patiently waiting for their turn to acquire the important document.
Itatusaidia kwa maneno mengi. Kitu ya kwanza unaweza chukua roni, itakusaidia. Kitu cha pili unaweza shika nayo SHA, ikusaidie pamoja wewe na familia yako.
In Korea, youth in the mining sector can no longer make a living without an ID. It is mandatory.
When these young boys and girls go to the mining places, some of them are denied access because of lack of identity cards. So it is a good initiative by the government that will help our people actually.
Along the shores of Victoria in Homa Bay and Migori, the beach management unit has also imposed a strict law prohibiting non-ID holders to make a living without the document.
Constitutionally, the requirement, one of the biggest requirements of voter registration is ID document, either identification card or a valid passport. So if people do not have either of those 2 documents, then definitely we cannot enlist them as voters.
The exercise, which is spearheaded by the Ministry of Interior, is set to go much deeper in the villages to register more numbers, especially the youth. Crispin Otieno, Citizen TV.
why is this narrative that this political class always sell to us that the main reason why the people from the Mount Kenya region or the Kikuyus are the majority, and this is why they are where their political interests always lie. Those people are the people who always win in any presidential election. This norm is totally not true. The first reason is, you see, Raila Amolo Odinga and the Nyanza people over the years, speaking of 2007 election, these people have always been suppressed. Yani, these people are always not being given a chance to register as voters. And for you to get a voter identification card during this election, Muso in Nyanza, and Umuli Dinga's support base, places like Coast, I walk in the park, because I can remember very well from speaking from my story. It took me almost 6 months to acquire my national identity card, and well. So considering the fact that, and imagine this was in 2022, where several people and several leaders were seriously trying to make sure that most people wamepata easy kura from all these 254, yani kura zote, all politicians were just trying to make sure that wamesaidia watu kupata election. And mimi, on my case, it took me close to 6 months to make sure that I got myself applying more than 4 times. Just imagine, kama singekuwa nafaa kuenda shule, the university that I'm currently in fact I'm graduating soon, just imagine that singekuwa naenda shule, and that identification card haikuwa something that is very important to me. Tuseme ningekuwa kwa something, ningekuwa hapo, tuseme I was somebody like a fisherman hapo kwa Lake Victoria. Do you think that I could have had interest ya kukuwa na ID? Several people have met hata kwa field ya mjengo, tukifanya hii kazi yetu ya kabro na kila hizi vitu zote, tukifanya kazi yetu ya kabro, and I've realized that most of these people are actually from Nyanza, hawanaga ID. Why? They are not, yani hawajawahi pewa ile chance ya kupata identification card, because to say like 2022 presidential, during 2022 presidential election, unapata the IEBC official wanakuja wanasema, you know what, will be in Kenyatta Sports Ground, hapo tutakuwa tunapeana watu kuona. So several crowd wageenda hapo, then the people fail to show up. So you see, with all this disappointment, imagine kama ulikuwa mtu mwenye anatafuta na wewe ni mtu anachoka haraka, umeenda hapo ukasema ati they are not there, ati hiyo ilikuwa ni misinformation. Why do you think these people won't be there? Wanasema ati the next day watakuwa hapo Kondele flyover. Ukienda hapo unapata these people are not there, and the resilience, and you know very well African people, and African mice are not a person who is patient. Most people from Nyanza, these people anasema they are always busy. A low person ni mtu atakwambia ako busy hata kama kutoka kwa nyumba analala. So with the laziness that these people have always had, so the perseverance of waiting and looking for this ID, au watu wamekuanga tu, yani ni kama and the political class ni kama walikuwa understand that these people are lazy, so giving them chance and creating some confusion amid, so when wakitafuta ID waga inawapatia a good chance to make sure that wame win his election, ama kama ni kuiba kura wataiba. So this has always been a key way that these people wametumiaga to manipulate the people. Wanasema aje, sisi watu wa mlima, we are many, we are the president in this game. And ukweli ni President Samoei Ruto being a person who have sit with these people kwa meza, ni kama these are among the political strategies yenye walikuwa wanatumia to suppress the people from the strongholds of Raila Odinga. Na jamaa realize watu hapo wanakuwa na wame attain the age of kupata hizo ID, na hawakuwa na chance ya kupata hizi ID, na in this case ameamua to put all the government machineries and efforts to make sure that these people wamepata easy ID. So the norm that we have always been preached, that for you to win this election, for you to become the next president of 254, lazima back up na ukuwe na backup ya Mount Kenya region. It's important politically speaking, but at national politics, I don't think if that norm is something that we should just carry, because with the Luos at the moment, ni kama wamejaribu kutuambia that it is not very much important for you to, the people of Mount Kenya region, is not very much important. They are not much important the same way that tumekuwa tukiambiwa over the years. Anyway guys, why do you think that and 27 and 2029 census, national population census, is what we are going to matter and show us the real price? Because just imagine the article, the Standard, kitu walisema hapo ati 1.5 million new registered voters from Nyanza. Just imagine in 2 years. Huh? And what those people wanasema hapo ati wanachukua hii kura kupigana, wanachukua this ID to make sure that President Samoei Ruto amekuwa a two-term president. And let me tell you that the people from if by any chance Rigathi Gachagua na au watu wa mlima wanataka ku make William Samoei Ruto a one-term president, it won't be such easy venye wanafikiria. Anyway guys, let me know your thoughts on comment section. Why do you think that hii kitu ati Luos wanakuwa watu the minority in this country? This is something that is outdated na atufai kufuliwa na hii kitu tena, because the way we are turning out to go kuchukua kura, hii kitu si something yenye Hatufai kuangalia tu hivyo. At last, I was your host Silas. Till next video. Bye bye.